This is a test. This is only a test.
This is Felt Recoil.
This is what happens when I don't go home.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Real proud of yourself, aren't you, Vermillion? Real proud of yourself.
It's all right. She doesn't even use Facebook anymore. She even told me the other night, this is why I don't use Facebook.
I hope you just recorded that impression so that she can hear it.
That was my impression of you from earlier today. She won't.
Did I
she
sound
won't
that?
ever, she
Did
won't
I
ever
sound
see
that
it.
sinister?
Yeah, you're pretty angry.
Oh, okay.
Just to fill you in on what happened. Today I needed to use Patrick's computer in the office for work related reasons. It was legit. So I asked, hey, can I just look at this on your monitor? Sure, man. Well, the 12-year-old inside of me can't resist. If Facebook's open, I'm probably changing your status to something. But I always include myself. So I'm not only immature, I'm very narcissistic. How long you been dating your girlfriend? 6 years? 7 years? 9?
Let's calm down.
So he's been dating his girl for a long time. And so I changed status to, will I buy Chris a ring one day? Yes, someday. And so I'm laughing about it. And then it turns into this thing of everybody that knows that they've been dating forever and all that being like, you know, well,
Including my mom.
you guys have been together forever now, so I think it's about time. And Patrick finally weighs in with, when all else is going wrong, at least I can rest assured I have mature friends. And his mom says, I'm not judging here, but you don't really appear to have that either. So Patrick and his girlfriend recently bought a house together.
I think my mom's calling me a failure.
Mom calls it like she sees it.
Relationships and friends in general.
I would tell you if the shoe fits, wear it. But since you're such a failure, you probably want to get shoes on right. So
I wear Solomon's. You don't have to tie them.
are we getting paid for that? Because if
No.
not, I don't want to hear it.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway, let's talk about my New Balance shoes. The shoes of 80-year-olds for decades. Our customers love us so much, they die right after they buy the product because life is complete. So you bought a house together recently. So my retort was, I don't need a ring. Just a nice house on a quiet little street near downtown. Wait a second. Now, all that may be completely inconsequential and insignificant to you, but the point is that
The point is, don't leave your Facebook open.
Patrick's
ever.
Your defense, though, was the best part because your defense was, well, she's not going to see it. That's what you're trying to do because she doesn't even use Facebook anymore. She told me the other night, I don't know why I get on Facebook. I'm never getting on Facebook again. And so as we're sitting here troubleshooting, and Patrick's looking up, Patrick's doing actual work. I'm going to figure out exactly how to make this perfect for you, man. Let me read the instruction manual to that mixing board. I'm like, cool, I'll check Facebook. And lo and behold, got a like on the comment from the girlfriend.
Uncontrollable laughter.
And so that is what that weirdo laughter was there. So I like it. Hey, did you watch SNL when Tom Hanks hosted?
I watched some of it on YouTube. I didn't watch it.
Did you?
I don't stay up that late.
Did you see? Yeah. I get my fill of propaganda before 11 p.m.
Right. I watch the NBC nightly news, and then I'm done with it.
A little bit of Lester Holt, then a little bit of whiskey, and then off to
Since
bed.
you brought him up, I can't watch him.
Yeah. Oh, 'cause
His
he's
top
black?
lip doesn't move. It's the weirdest thing. Next time you watch him, just notice that. You're not gonna be able to unwatch it.
It's a strong assumption that I watch him.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I'm a big Casey Neistat fan. I don't make bones about that. And I think I've mentioned this to you before, but he started because he had a TV show on HBO and asked his son, "What do you think about the show?" And his son said, "Yeah, I saw an episode or whatever." And he said, "Well, what are your friends saying about it?" And his son said, "Dad, my friends don't watch TV." And he said, "What do they watch?" And his son said they watch YouTube. So he saw a hole there in the market and said, "Well, man, let me just do a show via YouTube and see what happens." Well, now he's 556,000. No, that's not right. He's at like 5 million and something subscribers is the point.
Sounds a lot like me.
And yeah, exactly.
I don't even have a YouTube channel.
Meaning I'm one of those subscribers.
Right.
Sounds just like me. What made me think of that is I don't think I consume much regular TV at all. I watch The Prophet. I like The Prophet. And then my wife and I watch Blue Bloods as a habit. But even that's Amazon. And The Prophet I usually DVR. But outside of that, everything I take in via like TV-ish is all off of YouTube. I just go watch YouTube clips later. And I don't have to deal with the full episode. It satisfies the fact that I have a short attention span. Do whatever I want after and before and all that. It's a 6-minute consumption of media, and then I'm over it. So
we watch a lot of HBO, no commercials.
Yeah, there you go. I'm not a liberal, so I don't put money in their pockets, but I could understand. I could understand
what he says. Actions speak louder than words, Chris.
Back to that in a second. Because you told that guy the other day that I was a Democrat and he believed it.
That was awesome.
I want to touch on that for a second.
That was awesome.
Because I didn't. You notice I didn't correct him. I actually have this weird thing.
He was like taken aback.
Yeah, and he was like, he kept like trying to jab me a little bit, like, "Oh, I'm gonna get under his skin," which was fun for me. I thought it was funny, but I didn't correct him, and here's why.
No, but you were like playing along, and he didn't catch on.
Right. Well, no, because he believed it.
Right.
He thought legitimately this guy's a Democrat, so I'm going to give him a hard time because he's working in this gun store and he's a Democrat.
But the things we said got more and more outlandish.
Right.
And he still didn't catch on.
Like I was all defending Hillary and
yeah.
Benghazi, y'all need to get over it. Okay. I like that kind of stuff, actually. I'm a fan for some weird reason.
We've talked about this already, about how narcissistic you are. This is not, it's
Yeah.
not news to anybody that's met you.
Go back 3 minutes and remember where I said that. I'm actually a fan of people thinking something about me that isn't true and then compounding the lies on top of it. So that's how I got married, A.
It all makes sense now.
Now you get it. But more specifically, so I had this buddy, Dave. I have a friend, Dave. We don't hang out like we used to, but back in the day, we used to hang out. And you would always, we were in the business. We worked in nightclubs together. He was the DJ, and I would be the guy like making smart aleck comments on the microphone because that was my job back when I did radio. And so we had this good friendship. Well, you would just inevitably every week, you would get these really annoying girls that would want to come just stand there. That's all they wanted to do was stand there. So I go, "Hey, oh yeah, I listened to your show." And they didn't know who you were. I mean, I was on at 2:00 in the morning. Okay, they didn't know who I was. They go, "Oh, I listen to your show every night, and I love it, and you're great, and you're every day I'm listening to Hawk and Tom, and you're there." And it's like, no, it's a completely different show, but okay. So really annoying. So forgive me, Mom, if you ever hear this, but we just started telling them all we were gay. Like Dave would be my boyfriend, and I'd be his boyfriend. And so when an annoying girl walked up, it was the other guy's job to come up and be like, "What are you doing?" And they'd be like, "I'm just talking to him." Right. Do you mind not doing that? What's your problem? Well, listen, I get jealous. He understands I get jealous. And we kind of have this thing where we don't let girls talk to us when we're out in clubs together. Just think that's weird. Y'all are together? So that was our shtick with annoying girls, okay? Well, Dave had a very serious girlfriend, okay? And she was a great girl, super sweet, blah, blah, blah. Well, one night I had a little shindig at my apartment and invited him and her, and they came, and he said, "Hey, can she invite some friends?" Well, she was hot, so yeah, of course she can invite her friends. Lo and behold, a chick shows up who's one of these stereotypical annoying girls, and she goes, "I know you." And I go, "Oh, yeah, okay, I recognize you from Game Time." And she's like, yeah, you and your boyfriend, you're really rude to people. And so here we are in my apartment, and she's super into like, yeah, these two guys are gay, and so it's great. And I said, "We're actually not gay." And then she couldn't get it through her head. But you've told me many, many times. Yeah, well, it's because you're annoying. You don't leave us alone. So when you told the guy,
I like how the
day,
honesty came out there at the end, though.
well, it's different. You can be gay in a nightclub and it's not gay. If you're gay in your house, it's totally different. You have to correct the record. I'm not gay. I'm over
Thanks
here.
for drawing that line for me.
I'm over here impersonating Dave Matthews so girls will talk to me. Can you shut up about the gay thing for a minute? Are you gay? Only when she talks to me. When she comes over, I go 100% the other way. But the point is, that's what I was reminded of when you told that guy the other day that I was a Democrat, and he was so like, what? Well, I'll tell you about you Democrats, and I didn't correct him as I kind of went back in my head, and I thought, man, I wish Dave were here. He would get why this is such a kick. But all right, I didn't have anything else to really talk about when we did this. I do want to say one thing before we wrap up the test run.
Lay it on me.
I'm gonna cold-blooded murder a guy, and I need you to be my alibi if that's okay. Here's the quick backstory.
Are we recording?
Yeah, we're recording.
Okay, well,
It's all right. If my alibi is on tape, it'll hold up in court. It's even better.
no, but you're asking for it, though. That's part of the problem.
Don't worry about it. Trust
Okay,
me.
I'm. If you're good, I'm good.
I have a mutual friend through my brother who's a really nice guy. I like him. I've done business deals with him. The bag you're looking at over there, I bought from him for several $100s. Okay.
Are we talking about the bag of weed you just pointed at?
Yeah, but the leather bag holding it as well.
Well, I forgot you're a classy guy.
This guy, listen.
Keep your weed in a leather bound bag.
This is
Got it.
This is a white collar dude we're talking about. You could probably wrap up.
So it's cocaine.
Yeah,
Got it.
exactly.
Okay.
So I trust the guy, super nice guy. I get a text from him the other day, and it says, I'm gonna leave this guy's name out just because it might bite me in the ass later, but it's funny nonetheless. I guess if I tell the story and he hears it, he's gonna know it's him. All right. Hey, my buddy Matt, he's looking for a job. Maybe you could help him out. And I go, I didn't even have time to respond to it. So by the time I see that, I have a text from another number, and I don't know the number, and it says, hey, this is Matt. Can I call you? And something to that extent. And I go, yeah. Or he said, when's a good time to call you? And I said, yeah, now works. I happen to kind of be sitting in the office and had a free minute there, and so now works. And he's like, calling. Like, I don't know who texts you when they ask if they can call, and you say yes, call, and then they text and say calling. So that was sign number one that things are really going downhill fast.
It's like the guys at the range that yell reloading when they're changing a mag.
Do they really?
No, I don't know.
I was
being a smart ass.
Okay, yes. So that would be the equivalent, like reload. Which as you know, I think it's funny that guys yell threat to shoot at things, as if the bad guy's gonna yell threat before he kills you. I find that funny. But either way, all right. So he calls, and I get the whole, here's my resume over the phone, and I really want a job, which, okay, it's economy's tough. I get it. Sure, man, I'll talk to you about, I don't have any hiring or firing power, okay? So talking to the wrong guy, but I'm going to be nice to you about it. So, okay, man, I'll introduce you to the guy. You give him your resume, you're good to go, right? That's it. It's over. So that was Friday of last week. It is a Wednesday that we're talking right now. So what, 5 days, right? And so today, 5 days later, I get a text from him, 12:34. I'm looking at my timestamps. Hey, Chris, got a quick question. Do you have a minute? And I didn't, because I was in a conversation at the time. And so I see it. I set my phone back down, and 4 minutes later, it buzzes with a very lengthy question. And I go, okay, so I guess he's going to ask anyway, which is fine. It's a text message. As if I don't answer back, I'm sure, you probably, there's really only one of two ways this could have gone in his head, right? He didn't answer, so he's super busy, so I'll just drop it in a text and he can read it later. Or, since it's a pretty lengthy
I don't
text.
care what he's doing. I'm sending it.
Right. He's
go time.
He's not too busy for this. So understand this. The job I work is a great job, but I work in a retail store. and the retail store gets its bread buttered by the online store. They do however much gazillions of dollars online. So that is 100 miles away from me where I stand every day selling people guns behind a counter. I have nothing to do with it, right? It's important to understand because his question was about a random guy he just met in Tennessee. His order's wrong, and he gives me the guy's like web order number and asks if I can help get it corrected.
Does he think he already works for the company?
Apparently. Here's what I think. Honestly, again, only one of two ways this could have gone. In his head, he thought, I'm going to show this guy that I care about the people, that I go out and represent the product no matter what's happening, right?
He's just asking random guys on the street, hey, have you ever bought anything from XYZ company? He finally ran into a guy. And the guy's like, yeah, but I'm having some trouble.
Very well could be. Very well could be. Or he could be the type, which by the end of the story, I think you'll agree, that just goes around telling people he's already in line for the job. Yeah, I'll probably end up.
I'm basically the owner.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I called the other day and had a one-on-one conversation with the owner's assistant's guy that they hired to work at the store.
assistant 2.
What was that last part you said? You faded after you said you talked to the owner. Oh yeah, no. I talked to the owner of the store. He hired a few people several years ago, and eventually they hired a few people, and those people hired this guy that I talked to. But anyway, no, wait. I couldn't hear you when you stopped. You kind of faded out when you said you talked to the owner. Yeah. Listen, just let me finish the story. So I talked to the guy, and basically I'm going to take over. That could be what he's doing up there. So
He sounds like a real go-getter.
he's a winner. So 4 minutes after getting I have a question, I get the question, which is pretty lengthy for a text, and he's asking if I can help this guy out. And I'm not going to give you details on the guy, but the guy probably could use some help. It looks like he's had a tough time here lately, and the guy needs some help. So he gives me the guy's order number, and it ends at 1242. So in my head, I'm thinking, you know what? Looks like he's in Tennessee doing volunteer work. They've had wildfires. Looks like he met a guy who was affected by it. The guy's a loyal customer, wondering if we can help out. I get it. Done. Okay. Maybe we'll reach out and help this guy.
In all sincerity, he does sound like a nice guy.
Yes, he does. Sounds like he's up there doing good things. Here's where he started sinking his ship. Is that again?
We're not to that yet.
No. I'm still in the meeting.
Just checking.
Okay. I'm still sitting there hearing about what I need to do for my job, right? Like, okay, and then if this can be done, and we're bantering ideas back and forth, and then I get just a question mark, which for some reason just like steam started rolling when I saw the question mark. I was like, are you like, you're asking for a favor, albeit a very kind, well thought, well intentioned favor. But it's a favor. And the question mark, for some reason, like sent me off the edge. Then he sends me a picture of himself holding a rifle, and underneath says, hey, Chris, are you getting my messages?
Let me see this.
As if I'm supposed to be like, you know what? I wasn't, but now that you ask and I see them all, let me stop everything I'm doing to help you out.
He looks like he's in a pool hall.
Definitely.
Like a pool hall that hasn't been updated since like 1974.
All right, so that will explain why I kind of got the impression he was in a double wide, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like he's in a trailer somewhere. And
I haven't been in a lot of double wides, but this guy's got like pool cue racks,
yeah,
all kinds of cool stuff.
He's legit. I don't know what to tell you.
He's something, all right.
I mean, is this supposed to be the guy that he's asking me for help with? Is this his rifle? Or is it the guy that's trying to get the job's rifle? I don't know what that picture's all about. So he asks if I'm getting his messages, and I'm still sitting in the office, and I pick the phone up, and I go, I'm getting all of your messages while sitting in my boss's office talking to him. Yes. That was my tone. And what I meant by that was I'm trying to have a conversation with my boss, stop with the messages, but it totally came across to him as if I had run in there to get help for him and his friend, because his response was, awesome, here's the guy's name. You should talk to him directly. And then he sends me the guy's contact information and asks, what did your boss say? This spans From
He
12:34.
was not smelling what you were stepping in.
From 12:34 today, the first text rolls in, and at 7:39 this evening, I got a text. I said, "So no love for that guy?" Question mark. And I just really wanted to be like, you know what, dude? I do have love for that guy. What I don't have love for is the incessant, continual. I know you're in the middle of your workday, right? Like my workday usually goes.
But if you could just stop doing that for a minute,
Right.
and just do some of this stuff, that'd be great.
You know, yeah. I kind of wanted to reply and say, hey, buddy, I know you're unemployed. Totally willing to, like I said, you'll still get to talk to the guy because he's not going to work in my division. I won't even have to like deal with him if he gets hired. So I could really not care much less, except that part of my job is dealing with complaints. So maybe I will care because it seems like I might get a few. Hey, this guy won't stop texting me. He wants to know if he got my messages. So
I could see his career starts out really great,
he's a promising figure.
and then it just hits a downward slide. Man, this guy, I've had the product for 6 months. He's still calling me, wanting to know how I like it.
Which is interesting.
Hey, just following up.
As per what we tend to do, we do take people's numbers in case there's an issue and they need to come back. So yeah, I can see that happening. But moral of the story, I want to help the guy. I don't. Maybe it's a me thing, but really, 7
Why are you such a
hours.
jerk, Chris.
7 hours of the day dedicated to, is Chris going to do me this favor for this guy that I met today?
This guy's just trying to help somebody else out.
It just seemed a little snarky there at the end. And snarky the whole way through. And he doesn't get that I'm being snarky back, so.
I don't think that's what he's doing at all. I think he's being genuine.
He's probably a good guy.
Unfortunately, it's just a little over the top.
I'm just a cynic. I see what you're saying. Could be. Could be. All right, that's all I got.
This is a test of the emergency broadcasting system. The broadcasters of your area, in voluntary cooperation with federal, state, and local authorities, have developed this system to keep you informed in the event of an emergency. If this had been an actual emergency, the attention signal you've just heard would have been followed by official information, news, or instructions. This station serves the Northeast Illinois area. This concludes this test of the emergency broadcast system.